Hey Garrett, how's it going?
Good, Stuart. How you doing?
Great. Well, thanks a lot for joining us here on the SEO Cheat Guys show. We're going to quickly interview you, and really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us.
That's all my pleasure.
So, without further ado, I'll hand it over to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, where you're from, and how you got started in this business?
All right. Well, my name is Garrett Mann, and our company is Pop Advertising Partners. We've been in business approaching 4 years. We got started doing local advertising sales with pizzerias and clients. We sold advertising on pizza boxes and gave the pizza boxes to the pizzerias for free. So it was a great little concept, but it wasn't really scalable beyond the local market. And clients and people started asking us what else that we did, and I needed to have an answer. So we started formulating, and we started to come up with an answer, and that was we found the niche that they really needed help online, really needed some digital help, and it was something that we were already doing for ourselves and transitioned it into client work
Cool.
for SEO.
Cool. So, what were you doing before you got into this business? What generated the pizza marketing kind of concept?
I spent 15 years in leadership positions in various restaurant companies and building other people's businesses for 15 years. And kind of did a little semi-retirement for a little while. And my partner and I has been my best friend for about 10 years. And she was on a little semi-retirement thinking like, what's our next move? And we looked at each other one day and said, I don't want to go get a job. And she said, I don't want a job. I said, well, let's start a company. And 2 days later, we had the idea. And about a month after that, we were LLC'd and, off to the races. From there, it was $1 in a dream, and just started building our business.
Fantastic. So you obviously started in the pizza business, but when you transitioned kind of more into digital marketing, what was your approach in terms of going out and finding new customers? How did you start that process?
Well, the first thing that we did was we learned as much as we can about the industry. So you have to be a student of your craft, and if you're not knowledgeable about what you're selling, it's really obvious to smart clients. And we all want to work with smart clients because they're the ones that last. They're the ones that bother you the least and pay the most. So after becoming students of the industry, we looked to provide a whole ton of value, and I started doing some speaking engagements, teaching people about how you can set up your social media in an hour a month, and turning that into SEO related conversations, digital marketing conversations, and just start learning more about their business. So that was the big driver for us initially, and started getting into a lot more networking groups and becoming more of a value provider in the local marketplace first,
Yeah.
as someone you can turn to. And I turned those relationships into clients over the course of time.
Okay. So were you locally focused? So it wasn't like you were going after just pizzerias. You were just in your local market looking for local businesses that you can help in some capacity related to
Right.
to social.
Right. So yeah, we had local clients who paid for advertising to be on these pizza boxes. So those local clients, when we decided that the pizza division of our business wasn't as scalable long term, thinking 5-10 years out, is this the hustle that we want to be on? It just turned out that we didn't want it to go that way, and started having those conversations with the client base that we had built with 400 cold calls a week for a straight year.
Wow.
200 for myself, 200 for my partner. She way better at it than I am. She's a one call closer, which is awesome and aggravating at the same time. I'd get a lot of the hangups, but that's how we built it, and we turned those clients into conversations about their other needs, and we really were able to fill a void.
Perfect. So as you were growing, a lot of our audience are probably in the, let's say, $3,000 to $5,000 a month in revenue. They're looking to scale their business, maybe fire their boss and move into business full time. What point did you go out, you and your partner, and decide you needed to bring other people in house? And have you built a team in the interim since you started?
Yeah, so we've built a team of 6 full-time employees, and we brought on our first employee pretty early. It was a graphic designer. We had immediately found that businesses didn't have logos. Forget about websites. They didn't even have logo files, postcard. They had nothing to market their business. So, we immediately had a graphic designer. And then, really quick after that, we brought on someone who was going to help us post on social media for our clients, their Facebook and Pinterest pages. And the big decision business owners have to make is bringing on that extra person. A lot of times it's an expense up front. Right. But one of the things you have to learn is to put value on your time. So we all think that, it's free. It's just I'm just using my time to do things. Well, that is the most expensive thing that we have. And when the work you're doing isn't worth the time that you've put on, the value you've put on your time, you've got to start either hiring or outsourcing that work.
I agree completely.
Yeah, that's a big lesson. I did a lot of free work in the beginning, a lot of free work where you just became a yes man. You're new in business and you do a lot of yes. Oh, do you do email marketing? Yes. And then I spent 60 hours learning how to do it. Do you do this? Yes. And then I spent 60 hours doing it. If I had taken that 60 hours, if I had said no and put that 60 hours into a focus, or was able to hire that out because I saw potential in it, my job is to get clients, build the business, be the face of it, network. It's not my job to find the best content on social media. We're not going to hit our goals if I'm doing citation building and building GMB listings. That's not how you're going to get to that next step. So you have to take a hit up front.
Yep. And
pay out and develop relationships with VAs or local-based people that you can work with, because the payout long run is going to be a lot more. And it's something I did not do up front, and it's a big lesson learned.
So that leads to kind of an interesting question. So you have 6 employees plus you and your partner,
right,
working in the same city. Do you use any outsourcers?
We definitely, we outsource. Like I'll use a server like Bright Local, Yext. I use more of software-based outsourcing,
okay,
and not gig-based outsourcing, which most SEO people would understand that term. Gig-based outsourcing.
Yeah.
I'm a relationship guy. I'm a relationship builder. My strength starting in our business was team building, relationship building, not just with clients, but with employees, with associates. So our focus absolutely was right from the start. I did not want this to be a gig-based, fully outsourced VA, never see you, never talk to you type thing.
Sure.
I set out from the beginning to look locally or regionally to be able to use and hire people that way.
Fantastic. So you've got some success that's happened. Let's flip the coin and see what were some of the early challenges that you kind of encountered as you were growing the business from the ground up to where you are today.
Right. So one of the biggest challenges I think all businesses are going to face is, as you grow, you need to add clients, but not forget about the ones that got you there. And a huge challenge was to set up some processes and systems in order to stay in touch and to make sure that you're reaching out to the people that have been paying you for a year.
Right.
That you're a little bit more autopilot now, and you can't just focus on the new client acquisition. There is so much business and so much referrals within that your little organic group of clients that you really do have to take care of them. And that was a real big challenge for us as we grew, was how do we stay in touch? How do we keep top of mind? Even though that we're monthly retainers and getting paid, it's got to be more than that if you're going to keep people for long term. So that was a big lesson learned up front.
So just for the audience again, how many clients are you currently managing so they can get a perspective as to how challenging that really would have been for you?
Yeah, so we've built up to about 75 active SEO clients, and we have about 25 active social media clients. And we've also built a little printing division out of our business as well, that we're able to offer that as a value add, also as a lead gen thing that we do. And that's a lot of people. So even if you did a 15-minute phone call with everybody every month, 2 to 3 weeks of my time per month would just be that, and not focused on lead gen. So we use email marketing, Skype calls, try to keep it as little communication as possible, only when super necessary. But it's a little trick to provide the value, stay on top of mind, and make everybody feel good.
Do you spend any time actually physically going out to meet with your clients, or is it mostly you're doing it via phone, Skype, email, just because of the scale of your operation? Like you said, I mean, there's only so many hours in the day.
There's only so many hours in the day. I definitely have a on-site rotation of people that I can get to. Not everybody you can get to. We have some Canadian clients. We have some people out in California, stuff like that. Everybody local, I have on I work to keep on a little rotation as best I can to get out there and touch base every 30, 45 days, even if it's just, dropping off a dozen donuts saying, hey guys, see you later. Here's a dozen donuts. Talk to you next month.
Perfect.
There's definitely, but there's a process behind it.
Awesome. So now that you're at the 100 clients and you've obviously got some momentum behind you, what do you guys currently do to bring on new clients? What type of lead gen are you? I'm assuming you're not getting on the phone cold calling anymore. So
yeah, the cold calling days, thank goodness, are over. Although I think we have a book in our souls that we could write, or some type of course. I mean, when you make 20,000 cold calls in a year, you've gained some knowledge. So the big thing we're doing, we are in multiple networking groups, like a BNI style networking group. Okay. We are in BNI, and we're in other ones where we're able to educate other business owners about what we do, which really is increasing my sales force. So I am able to talk to other business owners about what SEO is, how it benefits other businesses, so that when they're in front of people, they know that I'm the guy that you can go to. So that's been a huge source. The second big source is referrals, current clients. I think people leave a lot of business on the table by not asking current clients who else can benefit from the services. You've benefited so much from the services we've provided. Who do you know that also can benefit? And we do a lot of home services contractor SEO, and everyone's got a brother-in-law that's got a roofing company, a brother-in-law that's got a painting company that they just haven't thought about. It just wasn't something in their mind until we said, hey, who else do you know that would benefit from our services? And there is a tremendous amount of power in learning to ask for it versus thinking that busy business owners are just going to be sitting there drinking their coffee saying, I wonder how I'm going to get Garrett more business this week. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. So learning for that, doing that ask, really important. And one other thing that I've done, and I think this could be valuable for a lot of new guys. We have those shared office spaces in a bunch of towns that we live in. Yep. That are around us. So they're always dying to add value to their renters, someone that's renting the office or sharing office space. And they always have some type of small conference room doing a 1-hour presentation in front of 20 business owners about building a GMB listing, about how to use a tool like Canva to design some of your own posts. For those more interactive business owners, the ultimate goal is starting SEO conversations. So I'll give you the tools of the trade on how to do social media, GMB listings, the type of email. I did a seminar on email marketing, got 2 clients for SEO out of it, and gave them everything I knew about email marketing in a 1-hour presentation. It cost me absolutely $0 to acquire those customers. Wow. So those are the 3 big methods we're using right now.
So, I mean, I want to ask some follow-up questions. So in terms of asking for referrals, I mean, there are books written on it. I'm just wondering if you can share anything from a process standpoint that you would recommend people do to almost not systematize it, because I'm sure it is one-off, but you must have instilled some kind of process where there is a follow-up with a happy customer. When does it happen? Anything that you can share in terms of helping people along the way? Because like I said, I think a lot of people have the 3, 4, 5 happy clients, but they're struggling to kind of get that virality from it, right? The referral of the brother-in-law with the roofing company.
Yeah, with the roofing company. So, I mean, really, it just comes straight up on an ask. So I'll wait to do it. You sit down, you're able to show results, right? So we got to show results first. build that relationship, visit their business, get that trust. So people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Once they know you, now you're their SEO guy. They like you, you're able to have a conversation, you're able to communicate about more than just the SEO subject. And then they trust you because you're able to provide value. Let's say you provide some email marketing value, or you're able to help them in other areas. And then you go in for the ask and you say, we've been able to provide results for you guys. We are trying to expand our business, work on our business. Are you able to, do you know anyone who would benefit from what we do? I'd love to start a conversation. And if they like you, they know you, they trust you, they're going to provide that referral. So don't be afraid of the ask.
Do you offer any incentives for them, or just quality service and then that's enough in your experience?
I haven't incentivized it yet.
Okay.
Not to mean I won't one day,
sure.
But I work so much on that value and that relationship that it's like one friend to another saying, "Hey, oh yeah, I got a guy. Definitely talk to him." Everybody wants to have a guy, right? So I want them to say, "I got a guy." Perfect. Oh, you're building a new website? I got a guy.
Okay. So 3.5, 4 years in this business, if you can go back to the younger version of yourself sitting at the desk making the, I guess, what would that work out to, 40 phone calls a week? What advice would you have for yourself in terms of a younger version of yourself that you wish you would have known 3.5, 4 years ago?
Yeah, so that's a super easy question.
Okay.
I did a lot of free work in the beginning. A lot of free work.
Okay.
You feel like you need to provide that value, to get that customer, do something for free. And I didn't value my time. So if you want to make $52,000 a year, that's $1,000 a week. How many hours are you willing to work to make that money? That's your hourly rate. If you're willing to work 50 hours, well, that's $20 an hour. If you're not doing income producing activities to produce $20 an hour, then stop doing it. Outsource it, hire someone, or completely stop doing it. And it took, that concept did not sink in right away. And I did, when my partner sees this interview, she's going to be laughing at this point because she was always yelling at me that I was doing, more than I should for people, which was distracting from our current business or our business focus.
Okay. So building on that vein, 3 kind of lessons that you would impart on, maybe a new or newer SEO getting into this business, starting up, obviously looking to one day have something similar to what you've created, 100 clients, right. Nice cash flow coming in, a solid business helping people. What kind of advice would you give to those newer people in the industry?
So the first thing I would say, you have to learn to communicate. If you can't effectively communicate your message to a potential client or anybody, you're never going to close sales. So go out and buy the book, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Every guru, every motivational, every sales guy in the history of the world since that book was written recommends that book as a top 3. You have to communicate your message, and you have to do it well. Second thing is learning to network. I'm a personable guy. I'm able to speak I've spoken in front of groups of hundreds and hundreds of people on a stage, but I didn't quite necessarily understand on how to turn a 5-minute networking conversation into the SEO type conversations that we were looking for. So I really had to learn how to network and understand how to cultivate those type of leads, because SEO is an education business. It's one-touch closes are pretty rare, and you need to educate a client on what it is that you can do to rank, how their competitors are doing it, and it's a process. So how do you turn a 5-minute conversation into a potential lead? And that's learning to network. And then the biggest thing is focus. If you're starting out, it is so easy to want to do client SEO, rank and rent SEO, build an affiliate, a Shopify e-commerce store, and do email marketing and also do some blog writing for people. And you can't do it. You have to pick one, become absolutely great at it, automate your processes, earn income, and then if you have a little passion project that you want to work on the side, then you can start those afterwards. But there's no way you can effectively service clients, build rank and rents, do affiliate marketing, which is a whole nother ball game, GMB listings, Amazon SEO. You can't do it all.
The list goes on.
One thing. Yeah, focus on one thing and become absolutely great at it. Be the go-to guy in your marketplace for SEO and lead generation and business building, and that's how you can build a large client base.
Fantastic. So you seem like you're a student of your craft. So what are some of the things that you, I mean, other than the book you mentioned, what are some things you think people should be either reading, subscribing to, following to kind of learn the business side as well as the technical side of the business that you would recommend for people?
Well, there's actually, this is tough because we get caught up in a lot of these SEO mastermind groups.
Sure.
Be a reader. The guy who reads 52 books in a year is going to win out the business of the guy who read one book. That's just a fact. Warren Buffett reads a book a day. That's not by accident. That's by design. Being able to have conversations, being a student, not just of your craft, but of life, will actually earn you more business than someone knowing what you're talking about in terms of SEO. You'll get to those conversations. So be a student at life, pick up anything that you can to possibly read, get into some SEO groups on Facebook pages. I've learned a lot through that. Invest back into some SEO programs. I always big fan of like the guys over at Dripcore, Source University, OMG, Network Empire. There are endless resources. Don't just focus on one. Sure. Immerse yourself in all of it and formulate your own ideas and your own plan. Most of these groups you can get in for like $50 a month, which is a nothing investment. And you can really learn a lot and be able to talk about SEO and just life in general with people. People want to buy from people they like. And if you can't talk about subjects going on in the world and things that are going on with you and be able to communicate who you are, what your mission is, what you're about for life, it's very hard to communicate when I want that $5,000 client. People just don't hand you $5,000 a month for, because you know how to build a GMB listing. They're going to give you that money because they like you, they trust you, you're a student of life. And be a lifelong learner, and the money comes. Work your ass off. The money comes.
Fantastic. So you're at 100 clients now. What's the future for your brand, your business? Where do you see it going? And what's the next big goal that you're chasing?
Well, our overall goal, I mean, we want to be a 7-figure business. We are pushing hard towards that. Our mission in our company is to be able to give away 90% of our net income and live off the 10% of what's left. And that drives everything that we do. So next milestone, $1 million a year, 7-figure. Next one after that, it's endless. The first million is the hardest. I can definitely agree with that. It takes a lot of processes and a lot of systems, but that's where we're headed. And we're going to do it. We're going to make it. There's nothing that is going to stop us from doing that.
Fantastic. So if people want to reach out and find you, where's the best place for them to go?
Well, our website, popadpartners.com, and then you can, shoot over to our Facebook page. I'm on Facebook probably way more than I should be. But, you do a lot of communication through there. You can reach out to us through our website, through my personal page or through our business page. I answer pretty much everybody. How we got to know each other is that Facebook post I put up. Yeah. I got about over 100 private messages on Facebook regarding that post, and I was able to answer everybody and really help some people out. So just find me on Facebook, find us through our website, and I'll answer anything you want. Perfect. Ask me anything.
Well, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us here on SEO Cheat Guides.
Yeah, this was awesome, man.
And if you like this content, for anyone watching, feel free to subscribe below, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Stuart.
Bye.